Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all presenters and participants of the 7th International Conference on Business, Education, Innovation and Social Sciences 2026. Today, I'm going to present our research article entitled Mapping Artificial Intelligence Research in Accounting Education, a bibliometric and strategic synthesis of Scopus research data from 2010 to 2025. As the introduction, artificial intelligence or AI has emerged as a transformative force reshaping industries, professions, and educational systems worldwide. In the accounting profession, AI-driven technologies such as machine learning, data analytics, RPA, and generative AI are redefining traditional accounting tasks, decision-making process, and competency expectations. As routine and rule-based functions become increasingly automated, the role of accountants is shifting toward analytical reasoning, strategic interpretation, and technology-enabled professional judgment. Curricular and assessment must undergo immediate structural realignment to match this reality. For this study, again, we have selected 405 records from the raw Scopus database. Out of this, there are only 259 eligible studies through a step-by-step refinement process, as shown in the slide. As the methodology, we have conducted a search strategy for this bibliometric analysis to ensure it covered all key research on targeting the intersection of artificial intelligence and accounting education. The publications selected were limited to the period between 2010 and 2025 to capture the evolution of artificial intelligence applications in accounting education, especially during the rapid technological advancement of the last decade. From the database Scopus records, we have narrowed down the initial record of 405. Out of this, 259 eligible studies were selected through a step-by-step refinement process. Here are the findings. In terms of documents, we can see there publication output remained modest prior to 2019. However, a clear upward trajectory is observed from 2021 onwards, culminating in a substantial peak in 2025 with 101 publication. This search suggests that AI has transitioned from a conceptual or experimental tool to a mainstream, pedagogical, and professional concern in accounting education. The rapid growth aligns in 2023 directly affected with global advancement in machine learning, generative AI, and as well as increased institutional pressure to future-proof accounting curricula. In terms of performance analysis by countries, China has the most publications with 71 publications, followed by United States, 45 publications. Both countries have made big investment in AI research and digital education, which is why they are in the lead. Contributions from Australia 12, Germany 9, and the United Kingdom 8 further illustrate the global interest in AI-enhanced accounting education. AI integration in accounting education is not basically a Western economic novelty. It is also a global imperative driven by distinct regional degrees of technological preparedness. Next, in terms of performance analysis by organizations and affiliations, as we can see, Birmingham Young University leads the publication, followed by University of Pittsburgh and then University of Toronto. In terms of Asia Pacific Hub, Monash University shows a highest publication, followed by University of Sydney, University Malaya and Brawijaya University. Participation spans from established Western research hubs to rapidly emerging economies, enriching the generalizability of results and reflecting diverse regulatory frameworks. In terms of subject areas, computer science comes in first, which shows 127 documents. This is because it is the field that studies the technological foundations of AI tools and systems. Next are business, management, and accounting and sciences. This area of study focuses on designing lessons, creating curricula, and measuring professional competency outcomes. Technological foundations currently dominate the landscape. However, the outer rings of cognitive and behavioral research are critical for creating forward-thinking, holistic models for teaching. Okay, in terms of authors, as we can see here, the 3 papers published by important authors, Al-Okaili, Chen, and Wood. Even though they are not just contributing ones, this is a typical pattern in interdisciplinary research fields where knowledge spans education, accounting, and information system. In terms of sources, conference proceedings such as the ACM International Conference Proceedings Series dominate the list, suggesting that the field is highly dynamic and technology-driven, with scholars frequently disseminating early findings through conferences. This is typical for emerging areas where innovation progresses rapidly. Specialized journals as Journal of Accounting Education, Journal of Emerging Technologies in Accounting, and Issues in Accounting Education reflect the pedagogical and disciplinary grounding of the research. Their presence underscores the growing acceptance of AI-related topics within mainstream accounting education scholarship. Performance analysis and discussion, computer sciences and conferences building the tools for the AI and accounting education. And the driving research volume are from the global universities, including from United States, China, and Southeast Asia. And the mainstreaming of discourse are coming from the accounting journals. However, pedagogical frameworks, which is translating tools into human competencies, are still lacking. These findings indicate that AI-based accounting education is a new and fast-growing research area that involves researchers from many disciplines, has a worldwide scope, and is increasingly accepted by institutions. Finally, the current literature suggests that cooperation between academia and industry is rather limited. The impact of AI on changes in accounting functions is evident. In terms of research gaps in artificial intelligence and accounting education, from this analysis, the current literature is primarily descriptive. We are hyper-focused on how to use the technology, but critically lagging on aligning those tools with learning outcomes and academic honesty, and of course the long-term competency development. Therefore, there are imbalance between the theory and the tools. For the future directions, we suggest that the required paradigm in terms of focus, we have to move forward in terms of pedagogical theory. As compared to time horizon, the current one is focused on short-term and cross-sectional. Therefore, for required one for the future, we suggest that we move forward towards the longitudinal and career spanning. And of course, in terms of geographic base, even though the current one is highly concentrated in US and China, therefore, for the future, we suggest to globally inclusive in emerging markets. Last but not least, in terms of industrial link, the current paradigm is more focusing on isolated academic studies, but for the future, we hope that there will be a deep corporate professional partnerships. Okay, furthermore, the research output is not evenly spread out across the world. China and the United States will publish the most papers, but developing and emerging economies contribute less, making it harder to apply current findings to a wider range of situations. There is still little integration across different fields. There is a lot of computer science, but the literature only briefly talks about AI ethics, accounting education theory, and learning sciences. For the future direction, the future of accounting education relies not on adopting the smartest algorithms, but on cultivating the most resilient human judgment. Therefore, as the first suggestion or first recommendation, there are suggestions to deploy mixed methods long-term studies to measure how generative AI and RPS simulators affect cognitive development, not just short-term engagement. Second, develop distinct frameworks to address academic integrity, algorithmic bias, and test design in AI-enhanced environment. Last but not least, partner directly with professional accounting bodies like IICPA, SCCA, and technology providers to ensure curricula remain anchored to evolving real-world competencies. As the conclusion, this study provides a detailed bibliometric overview of the scientific domain of AI in accounting education. It shows that despite increasing research on the subject, the field is still developing, with many different authors and research teams emerging. Further empirical research is needed to assess the impact of AI integration on students' competencies and professional preparedness, and its effects on the changing skill demands in the accounting profession. Thank you.